Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in things that go bump in the night? What about stories of unexplained disappearances? If you're not a believer, this story is going to change your mind. This is the Whispering Pines of Shimla. The mist rolled down from the mountains, blanketing Shimla's Mall Road in a ghostly shroud. Street lamps flickered weakly, their glow struggling to pierce the fog. It was late November, and the chill carried with it not just the bite of winter, but something else, something unseen. Detective Arjun Mehra had been called from Delhi to investigate a series of bizarre deaths in the town. 3 victims in the past month, each found near the Old Glen Forest, their faces twisted in terror, eyes wide open, as if they had seen something unspeakable. The police whispered of wild animals, but the townsfolk muttered of curses, old colonial spirits, and the haunted bungalow deep inside the forest. Arjun was not a man to believe in ghosts. Rational, sharp, and methodical, he trusted evidence over superstition. Yet as he stepped into Shimla, he felt an unsettling heaviness, as though the very air clung to him with intent. Now, Shimla was never a stranger to winters, but this year the weather had arrived early. The entire city seemed shrouded in fog, isolating it from the rest of the world. Even the sun seemed reluctant to shine through the thick blanket. That evening, settling into his hotel room, Arjun tried to piece together the details of the case. What had brought these people to the edge of the forest? And what had happened to them there? The answers, he hoped, would lie somewhere in this seemingly idyllic town. Outside, the wind picked up, whipping the branches of the oak trees against the window pane. It sounded like a knock, insistent and hollow, like the rapping of knuckles against glass. Startled, he turned from the window. Was that a noise or his nerves getting to him? Either way, he decided to turn in for the night, hoping for a better lead in the morning. But sleep proved elusive. Every creak of the old house, every sigh of the wind sent shivers down his spine. Just as he was about to give in to the exhaustion, his eyes fell on the travel brochure lying on the table. Glancing at the clock, he realized he still had time for the night tour of the Ridge and Christchurch. Maybe a little distraction was exactly what he needed. Dressing quickly, he stepped into the chilly night. The streets of Shimla were alive with tourists and vendors. Despite the cold, the festive spirit was high. Christmas carols filled the air, mingling with the scent of pine and roasted chestnuts. The majestic Christchurch, the second highest in India, stood bathed in golden light. Its Gothic arches and stained glass windows made for a breathtaking sight. From there, the tour took him to the Ridge, a wide open space overlooking the valley. The bonfire crackled merrily, casting dancing shadows on the faces of the crowd. The locals and tourists alike had gathered around it, sharing stories and seeking warmth. Despite the picturesque setting, Arjun couldn't shake off the unease that had taken root in his gut. The cheerful chatter of the crowd did little to quell the nervous tremor that ran through him. He found himself constantly scanning the dark corners, half expecting to see something emerge from the mist. The whispers of the wind through the pines took on a sinister tone, sounding like urgent warnings. He couldn't tell if it was the ghost of the forest claiming its due or his own mind playing tricks on him. Later, sitting in the warm confines of his hotel room, Arjun tried to sort through the day's events. He had seen nothing conclusive, heard no solid leads. The deaths remained a puzzle, and the looming presence of the forest, a specter hanging over his investigation. Memories of Mira's haunting words echoed in his ears. What if there was truth to the legend of the Whispering Pines? Could there be more to the forest than met the eye? Or was he letting his imagination run wild, sacrificing logic at the altar of fear? The next morning, sunlight streamed through the gaps in the curtains, painting stripes across the room. Arjun woke up feeling refreshed, the lingering unease from the previous night replaced by a steely determination. He wouldn't let fear dictate his actions, not when there were lives at stake. He dressed quickly, his movements efficient and decisive. Today, he would get to the bottom of the Whispering Pines mystery. His first stop was the abandoned Woodcroft Bungalow, a relic of British Raj left to rot after independence. Locals claimed it was cursed, built on the site of an old graveyard. Its windows were shattered, its doors crooked, and the walls dripped with damp moss. Inside, Arjun's torchlight revealed strange markings etched into the wooden floor, circles, triangles, and crude symbols that looked far too deliberate to be accidents. In one corner, he noticed something chilling. Claw marks, deep and ragged, gouged into the wood. But they weren't from an animal. They seemed almost human. As he bent closer, a soft whisper brushed past his ear. "Leave, before nightfall." He spun around. Nothing but shadows. Yet the temperature had dropped sharply, and for the first time, a shiver of doubt crept through him. He questioned the caretaker of the bungalow, an old man named Dani Ram, who spoke in hushed tones about strange occurrences in the night and the eerie glow emanating from the forest. Arjun listened patiently, sifting through the tales for any shred of truth. But Dani Ram's eyes were filled with such conviction that it was hard to dismiss his words as mere superstition. Later, poring over his notes in the quiet of his room, Arjun couldn't shake off the feeling that they were being watched. Each rustle of leaves outside his window sounded like deliberate footsteps. Each creak of the old house seemed to echo with unseen movement. Was it his imagination, or was there truly something sinister lurking in the shadows? Determined to find answers, Arjun set out to interview the townsfolk. Their stories wove a tapestry of fear and folklore, of shadowy figures and disembodied voices. The more he heard, the more he questioned his own skepticism. Could there be a rational explanation for what he had seen and heard? Armed with these newfound uncertainties, Arjun returned to the crime scene. Each step through the silent forest seemed to amplify the dread in his heart. The towering trees loomed like silent sentinels, their branches intertwined in a macabre dance. Then he saw it, half hidden beneath a tangle of roots, a small wooden box. Brushing away the dirt, he lifted the lid. Inside nestled a stack of old yellowed documents. As he began to read, his face paled, the words blurring through his trembling hands. The diary spoke of a tragic past, of lives cut short, and secrets buried deep. The final entry sent a chill down his spine. "Today we made a grim discovery," it read. "The bodies of those we lost, the forest claims them all. The whispers grow louder, urging us to heed their call. We must leave this place, escape the pines that hold us tight, for in this forest, darkness reigns eternal, claiming all who enter its domain." Arjun stumbled back, his mind reeling. So the forest was alive, sentient, and it was taking revenge. But how? What had these people done to deserve such a fate? And why was he being drawn into its deadly embrace? The realization hit him like a tidal wave, as sudden and inescapable as the forest's grasp. He was the next target. The forest wanted another soul to claim. Arjun broke into a run, his lungs burning, legs pumping, the diary forgotten on the moss-covered ground. Behind him, he heard a sound, not the whispers of the wind, but something much more sinister, the sound of heavy footsteps pursuing him. Branches snapped underfoot, the forest floor trembled with each step. He dared not look back. He could feel the presence closing in, suffocatingly close, its icy fingers brushing against his neck. The finish line, the road, salvation, yet so tantalizingly far. With a Herculean effort, he pushed on, driven by a primal fear of what lay behind him and the desperate hope of what lay ahead. In the end, it was the forest that won. In the morning light, the townsfolk found Arjun's diary lying on the forest floor. Its last entry was scrawled hastily, ink smeared as though written in panic. "It's not a curse, it's feeding. The forest remembers. The forest takes back what was stolen. No body was ever found. Some say Arjun was claimed by the shadow of Woodcroft Bungalow. Others whisper that on misty nights in Shimla, if you walk too close to the forest, you might hear the faint sound of a pen scratching across paper, detective notes from beyond the grave.